Let us start. Iceland. Let us discuss today's current affairs. Iceland became the first country to legalize equal pay for equal work. Iceland became the first country to legalize equal pay for equal work for both men and women. In Article 39 Clause D, we have same statement in our Directive Principles of the Indian Constitution. Equal pay for equal work. Equal pay for equal work is a Directive Principle. As you all know, Directive Principles are not enforceable in court of law. Directive Principles are not enforceable in court of law, whereas fundamental rights are enforceable. That means when a fundamental right is violated, you can go to court. When a directive principle is violated, you cannot go to court. In MG-Narega in India, we have equal pay. Before the advent of Narega in India, before the advent of MG-Narega in India, for the same work, for the same hours, men used to get double pay than women. Men used to get almost the double pay. If men gets around 350 rupees, women used to get around 150 to 180 rupees. That was the scenario. With the advent of MG-Narega in India, the things changed. Almost now women are getting a better wage, if not equal wage. Almost now women are getting a better wage, if not equal wage. There is a dire need in India also to have a legislation for equal pay for equal work. Equal pay for equal work. USA have put the Pakistan in the watch list. US puts Pakistan on special watch list. As you all know, US have cut off lot of aid to Pakistan. Trump called Pakistan a deceit and a liar. Now, Pakistan is in the special scanner. It is in the special watch list. Pakistan is in the special scanner, that is in the special watch list. Next. As you all know, the gifts are most important. In yesterday's newspaper you have Buggy, B-U-G-G-Y, Buggy. Israel's Prime Minister gave the gift to India, Indian Prime Minister Modi. The buggy runs with water. It has so inbuilt desalinization project. Even the water with saline content, it will get desalinization. And after this, the water will become as pure as drinking water. It can be used for drinking purpose also. The water from rivers, ponds, oceans can be used. So this buggy, a jeep will run through water. It has its own processing capacity. And this shows the prowess of Israel in high-end technology. And though it is very costly, the future needs this. One is it is environmental friendly. Second is we have plenty of water resource, we need not dependent on oil. All these things make this buggy very special. It is very special to India. It produces drinking water with the WHO standards. It has independent source of energy. It can provide drinking water in rural areas also. You can use this. It can provide drinking water in rural areas also. It can go up to 90 kilometers per hour speed. The speed of the buggy, the jeep, is 90 kilometers per hour. Buggy is important as current affairs. Next is Jojila Tunnel. Jojila Tunnel. It is between Ladakh and Kashmir. Between Ladakh and Kashmir. 14.2 kilometers tunnel. 14.2 kilometers tunnel. Jojila Tunnel. Earlier we have Chanani Nashri Tunnel. Earlier we have Chanani Nashri Tunnel. And today there are crucial current affairs. Number 1, India's GDP projection was 6.5% for this financial year. India's GDP projection is 6.5%. The slowdown of GDP, the decrease of GDP projection is because of demonetization, because of GST, and indirectly NPAs and other structural issues also influenced. And according to me, we have changed 2 years back from GDP calculation to GVA, gross value addition. GVA will reduce duplication. There is also a reason why we have less projection of growth rate, because duplication is much more earlier, now it got reduced. What is this duplication? An amount will be calculated at the one side and the same amount will be considered at the other side. There is a story behind this which Raghuram Rajan, the former RBI governor, told. 2 mothers are seeking a job. 2 mothers are seeking a job. Both got the job of babysitters. Both got the job of babysitters. Both the mothers have babies. They are working for they are trying for a job. Both got the job of babysitter. One mother is acting as a babysitter to other mother, and the other mother is acting as a babysitter to first mother. Both were paying each other 10,000 rupees salary. Both were paying each other 10,000 rupees salary. That means money is just being exchanged. It seems that job got created, but it was a repetition and duplication. So 2 mothers getting the job of babysitters, exchanging the same salary, 10,000. A gives 10,000 to B and B gives the same 10,000 to A. And both are in job, both are in productivity, both are babysitters. In the same way, most of the calculations in GDP earlier are duplications. Now it was gross value addition. Anything we have added to the extra to the original thing, that is being calculated. There is also a reason why GDP growth is projected little low. And in 2007-2008, before that, at that time, we aimed for double-digit growth. Double-digit means 2 digits, 10, 10.1 like that. But unfortunately, because of world crisis, world went into recession at that time. India have not reached double-digit GDP. And before 1991, we have Hindu rate of growth. Hindu rate of growth means slow growth because of welfare economics, all those things. Because of controlled economy. Because of complete controlled economy. 4.1%, 3.5%, this is called Hindu rate of growth. Though with LPG we had good growth rates, still again from last 2-3 years they were coming down. We have to work on this. This is very important to address many problems in India. Growth rate should also be high in the macroeconomic terms. Next important article today is Constitution Bench to look at adultery law. Constitutional Bench to look at adultery law. As you all know, if a man have a relationship with a woman who is someone else's wife, if a man have a relationship with a woman who is the wife of other person, the man will be punished. That means a married woman having a relationship with a man who is not her husband is called adultery. Section 497 of IPC penalizes adultery, says adultery is a crime. Now, a case was filed in the Supreme Court, Joseph Shine versus Union of India, saying that women cannot be owned by a man. That means over by body, over by position. If a man completely owns a woman, it shows that adultery law says that women have no right to privacy. That was a case. In the Indian circumstances, to protect Indian culture, adultery was made as a crime. Though the adultery have become crime in 1860, Indian Penal Code came before independence, but still even today, in Indian circumstances, Indian culture, adultery cannot be allowed all the time. But still, the other side of the argument is, two consenting adults, when they want to go for other activity, why should they be penalized? This is a question. Question number 2. In a way, you are making a man to own woman's body. Third thing, in a way, you are punishing only the man, not the woman. There are many issues in adultery which you should take care of. There are various aspects in adultery which you have to take care of. That was a issue that was referred to Constitutional Bench. Now the Constitutional Bench has to decide what rights women have after marriage regarding her privacy issues. They have to decide. But I think court will not legalize adultery. Okay, first thing. Second thing, court will not might not decriminalize adultery, because judgments will be given not only based on rights, human rights. Sometimes it will also consider some cultural aspects, social circumstances of the country. Okay, let us see what type of judgment the Constitutional Bench gives to us regarding adultery, because it is going to be a watershed judgment on various issues relating to individual's personal life and Indian culture. How courts are going to take it, consider it, is a big question. We have to wait for that. Next important article today is enabling law. The editorial today on disability and disabled rights. In fact, we should never use the term disabled in the exam. Differently abled or specially abled. Differently abled or specially abled. We need not use the term, we should not use the term disabled. What do you mean by disabled? Disabled means you are not fit for that. You are disabled for that. And can you say Mr. X or Miss Y or Mrs. X is disabled? You cannot call that. The reason is, ability and disability does not come with physical strength. It comes with spirit and will. You can never say, use the word disabled. That means you are not a progressive person. You should use, even in the second sentence of Hindu paper, spoke about disabled. The second sentence of the article spoke about disabled. In fact, you should write specially abled or differently abled. So this is one perspective. The second perspective is, 3 years back, Government of India launched a program called Sugamya Bharat Abhiyan, Accessible India Campaign. Most of the government buildings are not accessible to the differently abled people. Most of the government buildings are not accessible to the differently abled people. ATMs to withdraw money, they are not accessible. A person who uses a wheelchair cannot enter into many of the ATMs in India today because most of them don't have ramps, only steps. Point 2. Even in most of the metropolitan cities in India, for a normal man to board a RTC bus is a difficult task. Consider the person who does not have limbs or visual impairment or some difficulty. How can they board? Not all Indians can afford an auto or a car, particularly the disabled community or differently abled community. The third important aspect is most of the areas of comfort, parks, roads, or areas which they have some interest, airports, railway stations, bus stands, government buildings. These are all things which are needed. Differently abled people don't want any special support. They want only accessibility. Accessibility means on par with. So what normal person can access, disabled should also, differently abled people should also access that. That is there. That's called inclusive society. You have to focus on the concept called inclusive society. In India, 2.21% of Indians are differently abled. 2.21 official estimate according to 2011 census. Recently, an act was passed for their rights. Disabilities Act 2016. Recently an act was passed. The criteria of disabilities, the categories of differently abled were increased from 7 to 21. Reservations for the differently abled were increased from 3 to 4%. Whenever you are writing an essay on them, there is a point which you have to mention. In public employment, already you know, in central government and state government, how much employment we have. Even for able-bodied persons, it's a rare chance to get into government service. For that we need to work very hard. First thing. Second thing, private employment, if you see, like software employment, like doctors, like nurses, you take entire industrial employment, will any private employee easily accept a differently abled man or a specially abled woman and give the job? Even for a normal person, they'll ask 101 questions. What about a differently abled person? What they need is empowerment. Empowerment to go for self-employment. What they need is empowerment for their self-employment. That you should stress on. Supreme Court directed that empowerment only comes with accessibility. They should be able to go to school. They should be able to go to access to better transport system. Able to go to government hospital or government school. Then only they can get empowerment. Only this empowerment leads to their emancipation from all their exploitation and discrimination. The problems which disability and disabled people, differently abled people face is the discrimination. They mostly face discrimination in the social sense first, particularly in the rural areas. If you are born with a disability and as a woman without education, think about the entire perspective. Okay? And in this perspective, you should write an essay on how to focus and how to make them. You will be seeing some pictures in the photographs in the newspaper sometimes. the brother or sister or father carrying a different labeled person in the hands or in the back, so that they can write 10th class exam, 7th class exam. So as civil servants, future civil servants, we have special responsibility to help those underprivileged who cannot come to the mainstream. Who cannot come up to the mainstream, we should have special responsibility. Unless we experience it, we will not actually, cannot empathize with them. Because I have seen many of their problems live. When I am a kid, I used to go to various hospitals for my treatment. My parents used to take me. In that 3 years old kids, 2 years old kids, suddenly accident victims, small children, they'll get different type of disabilities. And I have seen a boy, I got wondered and surprised even today. I'll still never forget him. He is my inspiration in my childhood. He lost his hand, 3rd class boy, in an accident. I am studying 1st class at that time. My mother took me to that hospital for my artificial limbs. In that, the doctor, the boy's mother's ambition is the boy should be excellent in studies. But the boy lost both the upper limbs and lower limbs. And doctor have installed an artificial limb to his hand. And with that artificial limb, he has attached a screw and a pen. And rigorous writing practice is going on to that boy. And the boy is sitting and writing every day, every time. And 1 month I have seen him in the same posture. He is writing. I used to even think today how much patience he got at that age. Now in this age we don't have that. So that is the determination which, when you lose something in life, you actually work very hard. Okay, if God gives life with a platter, we never actually work so hard. That's very important. So there are people who are studying hard, and we should help them in a better way. That is our responsibility. We should not get swayed away with our passions in education and after becoming IAS. We need to actually work for the people who actually suffer a lot in their life. For that purpose, if you work, you will really make wonders. Really make wonders in life. Even if you can change one person, as Mother Teresa told, if you cannot feed 100, at least feed one. If you cannot help everyone, at least help your own people. In your own district, as a district collector or district SP, at least you can make something, a big difference. Okay, so let's go to the next article. Memory, myth and memorial. Memory, myth and memorial. This article is the Bhima issue. Bhima issue. Again, repetition. The small memorial, how it created a havoc. Peshwa Bajirao too, and we have the fight between the British Army and Peshwa Bajirao too. How Peshwa Bajirao spurned out the Dalits. From then on, how the entire issue is about equality and non-discrimination, not about winning or losing the war. The entire issue is about equality and non-discrimination, not about winning or losing the war. That's the subtitle. Again, there is one more perspective, not only in this issue, various issues. In India, equality can be brought in 2 ways. By questioning and fighting, or by promoting tolerance. The second option is a better option. The second option is the better option. Okay. Rather than fighting for equality, empowerment and tolerance and persuasion methods are more important than enrage. We cannot enrage ourselves. There is no requirement for that, because the world knows that we have a balance in life. Destiny knows how to balance it. So if you work really hard and tolerant, automatically things change. You need not fight for the issues. For any issue, you need not fight. India should learn this lesson. Not only the particular incident, in all these things. So equality and non-discrimination comes not only through fight, not only through rights-based approach. We can also make the world equal by following Gandhian methods. Gandhi gave an effective Margaret verse. That is, hate the crime, but not the criminal. You should question the issue, protest against the issue. Need not take violent methods. You can change the face of India very fast. That's the most easiest method. If you are intolerant and fight and start fighting, it won't happen. Actually, it will boomerang sometimes. Sometimes you are highlighting the issue rather than the cause. You are highlighting the particular event rather than the cause. The cause for which you are fighting is very important. That is missing. So everyone knows Bhima-Koregaon issue, but nobody knows the entire episode. Okay, what it happened for a common man. For civil aspirant, we understand. So next important article is game for talks. Game for talks. Seoul called Pyongyang for talks. South Korea invited North Korea for talks. In this article, there are few important incidents. In this article, there are important issues. One is South Korea and America friendship. America, South Korea's joint exercise, Fall Eagle, got postponed because of Winter Olympics are being held in South Korea. And America have sent third terminal high altitude defense system to South Korea. And now talks between North Korea and South Korea, dialogue between North Korea and South Korea is very crucial as world is moving towards entanglements and conflicts and fights. But I don't think Trump will allow this. I don't think Trump will allow this dialogue. Let us wait and watch. And the last article today is about acid attacks women. Acid attacks women. The article Ground Zero revolves around highest number of acid attacks in West Bengal. Highest number of acid attacks in West Bengal. In this, you all know the similar incident happened in Andhra and Telangana many times. In Warangal it happened 8-9 years back. And in most of the cities, we all know this type of attacks. In West Bengal it is the highest. And generally why they are committed? They are committed for revenge. People want to take revenge or for rejection or sometimes eccentric personalities or psycho. We cannot say completely what the reason. But the thing here is why they are committing and how to deal with this. In this article, they have mentioned about Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, there was an acid attack control committee, 2 strong laws, and selling of this particular acids are banned. And in Bangladesh, the model worked. Earlier, Bangladesh also faced a serious problem of acid attacks. Now, stringent laws are made, strict punishments are being given, and most importantly, in Bangladesh, a committee was appointed for acid attack control, and selling of these prohibited acids is also completely made punishable. For all these reasons, the incidents of acid attacks got minimized in Bangladesh. The same model can be followed in India, in the states like West Bengal or throughout India, first thing. Second thing, we have various theories of punishment. Deterrent theory, retributive theory, reformative theory, punitive theory, compensatory theory. We have various theories of punishment. There are various ways where you can punish. But here, unnecessarily the victim is being victimized with this complete acid attack. So we have to take a pause on this. Finally, I would like to end up this article with a small story which I have read few years back in the newspaper. In some Middle East country, the same attack happened. in one Middle East country, the same attack happened. There in certain countries, they follow Shariat law. Means, in some crimes, they will give the same punishment which the culprit have committed. For example, if the culprit have thrown acid on the face of woman, he will also be given the same punishment. An eye for an eye, a life for life, hand for hand, leg for leg. This is a punishment for certain crimes in some countries in the Middle East. So there is a beautiful woman. A man was after her. Finally she rejected. There is some issue. The man has completely thrown the acid on the face of the woman. Her face has become so disfigured that her mother have not allowed her to see her face in the mirror. To that extent the face got disfigured. And finally the culprit was caught. Court gave the punishment. The punishment is the same acid woman should throw, the victim should throw on the face of the man. The judgment implementation day have come. The judgment implementation day have come. The woman was taken there. The woman was taken there. And acid bottle was given to her. She kept the acid bottle there and she told, the mental agony which I faced from last 2 years, nobody in the world, not even my enemy should face it. Not even my enemy should face it. He can be punished, but I cannot make him to suffer like me. Such an agony I have undergone. And here Mahatma Gandhi comes. To err is human, to forgive is divine. Forgiveness is not weakness. Only the strong can forgive. In fact, forgiveness is the weapon of the strong. That does not mean you should forgive all crimes, even acid attacks. There should be correction, strict law and order mechanism. At the same time, you should also hit at the root cause of the problem. Because rapes, molestations, acid attacks will not happen when the family system is very good. Law and order is very good. We should address in both the issues rather than thinking fait accompli after the crime. Okay, this is the newspaper analysis today.